Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our special National Day Stream Marathon. My name is Saya Khairullah, and today I'm delighted to be here celebrating this special occasion.
And I'm Isra Isa. We were honored to have a distinguished guest joining us today.
We're thrilled to welcome Mr. Daniel, Director of Education for Dhafra Schools, an accomplished American educator that has many great accomplishments. Mr. Daniel has dedicated his career to advancing educational excellence and fostering a vibrant learning community here in the UAE.
Mr. Daniel's journey and his insights into the educational landscapes are truly inspiring. His commitment to nurturing students and contributing to our diverse community perfectly reflects the spirit of unity and collaboration we celebrate today.
We really look forward to seeing Mr. Daniel today and hearing about his experience here in the UAE and his insights into the educational landscape and how truly inspiring they are.
We have several questions for Mr. Daniel for today.
So without further ado, let's please join us in welcoming Mr.
Okay, Haya, what do you think? What are some questions that you might have asked Mr. Daniel for today's conversation and podcast?
I personally want to ask him about some multiple types of questions, like his professional experiences in the UAE and how it's been with his personal life, even in here and in his home country. And
for me, I want to ask about how Mr. Daniel adapted, especially to different cultures and different traditions, and how did he feel as a resident and how did he accomplish what he did in the country. So, what do you think, Mr. Daniel, what advices might he give us for this podcast?
I think that he is an accomplished man, and I think that he is going to give us great advice, honestly. I'm not sure myself because I wouldn't know. I have not worked in this yet. But I think that he's going to give us advice that's going to benefit us as students as well.
Like, yeah, so you're planning to.
Even if we get out of school and start working harder.
I'm waiting to hear Mr. Daniel's side of story about this and the questions that he's going to answer.
So without further ado, please join us in welcoming Mr. Daniel.
Hello, good morning. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
Hello, sir. How are you today?
I'm great. Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. Great. Could you give us a brief introduction about yourself?
Sure. My name is Daniel Bowkelman, and originally I'm from the United States, Orange County, California. I come from a family of 7 siblings. I'm number 5, so I've got 3 older sisters, an older brother, 2 younger brothers, and I myself am married with 3 children who are in their early 20s.
Oh,
yes.
That's great.
They grew up here in the UAE.
That's nice. We have some questions for you that you could answer. From your perspective, how would you describe the overall experience of living in the UAE as an American citizen, partially within such a cultural diverse environment?
Oh, good question.
Yes.
First, I'm human, so I don't think it's too much about being an American citizen. Of course, that's where my background is from. But the UAE is a beautiful country. It's given me incredible opportunities to live a full life. I've explored my career here, my family life. My youngest was born here. So it's really provided me a lot of opportunities to grow personally and professionally.
That's really insightful, Mr. Daniel. It's fascinating to hear how cultural diversity enriches the living experiences here.
Wait, so before I move on to the next question, have you lived in UAE your entire life or have you lived elsewhere before?
I've lived elsewhere. I moved here in 2004. I first left the U.S. in 1997. I had the opportunity to go to Cyprus. I was there for a little while. Funny thing is, when I first got the opportunity to go to Cyprus, I didn't even know there was a country called Cyprus. And we have a city in my town called Cyprus, but it's named after the cypress tree. And it's spelled differently, Cypress. So I thought, oh, I'm going to Cyprus. And it was spelled Cyprus, Kubros. But that was a great experience. Then from there I went to Lebanon. And the reason I did that is because I saw that if I were to stay in a country like Cyprus, which is a Greek-speaking or Turkish-speaking country, there weren't many opportunities to explore internationally. So I moved to Lebanon, being that, okay, if I explore the world of Arabia, there are many different countries that I might want to go to because I had this wanderlust, an itch to see the world, questions about myself. Okay, I'm Daniel Bowkelman. I was born in America, but I didn't choose those things. I just happened to be, that's where I came from. Right. But I wanted to see life all around. So from Cyprus to Lebanon, I was there for 3 years in Lebanon. And then from Lebanon to Saudi Arabia, I was there for 4 years in Jeddah, 2000 to 2004, then 2004 in the UAE.
I have a question. Why did you settle for the UAE? Why did you choose the UAE? Even though you traveled to Lebanon, Cyprus, and Saudi Arabia, why did you choose to be in the UAE, to stay here?
This is actually a part of my next question.
Really?
Yeah,
yes.
so to ask you the full question. So what factors influenced your decision to pursue an educational leadership role in the UAE and not any other country that you've been to?
I think it's probably 50-50 that I chose the UAE and maybe the UAE chose me. Coming from Saudi Arabia, my children, I had 2 children born there, my 2 daughters. We were a young family. We did have friends and family in the UAE, so we had visited here. So when we moved here, it was really about looking for a right environment or a good environment to raise our children, also with professional opportunities too. Now going to education, I was already an educator, so I didn't choose education being in the UAE. It was already my career of choice. It was just continuing. At that time, I was an English teacher and a head of department, so I wasn't yet a senior leader, a principal or vice principal. That came later in my career when I grew into that role.
That's great. That's really
Nice.
interesting.
Yes. So how has working in the UAE's diverse environment influenced your approach to fostering inclusion and respect in professional settings?
Well, I think to foster inclusion, you need to understand empathy. And to understand empathy, you need to make mistakes yourself. Others make mistakes and errors. You see people who sometimes mistakes come upon them. It's not necessarily something that they did. So if somebody was born a certain way, they experienced a certain phenomenon in life, maybe poverty, maybe sickness, illness. When you see that happening to people, you sort of develop a compassion and empathy, and that leads to inclusivity of wanting all people to feel that, you know, we're really no different. We're made up of, 70% or such water.
Yeah.
Our blood pumps red or purple. Yes, our minds think about what we need as humans. So seeing that we're all really the same, despite our skin color, eye color, our name, that develops for me, a compassion and an understanding of humans, of people, and wanting everybody to work together for the greater good, which is inclusivity.
That we're all humans at the end of the day.
Yes.
No matter like how hard it is or the circumstances that we're in. Hi, do you have a question?
I think that's a really great way to think because this way inspires people to come together and just be one as
Absolutely.
a community.
Yeah.
Yes.
So for my next question, could you share an example or an experience that you've had in where an activity helps strengthen intercultural understanding among colleagues or students, and how was it, and what started it?
Well, I'm not sure what started it, other than a curiosity, a vision to provide opportunities for students. So if I think of activities that have really made a difference, it's something similar to what you guys at the Academy are doing right here, right now. You've decided to have a goal. We're going to live stream. We're going to include students, parents, community members, staff members, and you could have probably chosen any theme, but the fact that a school community is getting to do something that brings excitement, brings people together, the memories that will last from this will be for a lifetime. With yourselves, with the younger students who look up to you, who see you as role models, they're going to think, I would like to do something like this one day. I want to be on the camera, I want to be a live streamer, and it's such a big phenomenon today of streaming, that it's going to gather people's interest. So if there's an activity that I think really stands out about what's made a difference in my life, the UAE National Day is a huge one, obviously around every year. I think the theme for next year that His Highness President has announced, the Year of the Family, I think that's going to really create a lot of positivity as well, of understanding what is family. That goes beyond the textbook of academics. We don't really talk about family too much in a school environment or even amongst friends. So I think such initiatives like this really make a difference in my life and the lives of students.
I think that's great. It's wonderful to see how these examples, like practical examples of these building intercultural bridges, because it really helps us just connect with each other. And as you said, our school, it's really great for giving us these opportunities, and I hope to see more of these events in the future.
That's right.
Absolutely. I'd like to add, we're celebrating National Day, and I think of some events of International Day. I don't know if you celebrate International Day, but I think that is also an event that has really inspired people. And I can recall when I first initiated International Day in Al-Dhafra School, Abu Dhabi, when I was a principal. The school had never done that before. And having a huge event, 3 or 4 hours of celebration, and getting everybody in the school to perform. So I remember seeing, the hospitality staff, the cleaning staff, coming from the Philippines, coming from India, coming from Nepal, that they were on stage performing their traditional dances in their traditional clothing. That's been an incredible activity that has brought inclusivity across different nationalities, different barriers as well of understanding. And I see that the National Day and International Day are becoming more and more like one. Whereas before, International Day was, okay, we're going to celebrate everybody, and National Day is we're going to celebrate the UAE. But I see now National Day is also celebrating everybody, because everybody's embracing the UAE. So there aren't a big difference in the two events, although they're on 2 different days celebrated in the schools.
Yeah, so it's like cultural day, right?
Similar to a cultural day.
We celebrate that in our school too, and I feel like everyone can express their background and their country in their own way.
It's personally my favorite time of the year, because I get to see everyone and their inner people and where they belong to and where I belong to, and then we get to all share that experience together. I think it's beautiful.
Yeah,
yes.
We get to share the different backgrounds and different perspectives of people, and that's also my favorite day. Comes with the National Day too. I'm also very grateful for the school giving us this opportunity of this live stream. It's a great idea. And I want to ask a question. What significant changes in the UAE's education landscape have you observed during your time here? And how have they influenced your work as an educator?
Good question. I think the biggest change in education in the UAE has come from education reform that was launched, I believe, in 2007 with the UAE inspection framework. Prior to having a framework, schools weren't assessed by or quality assured by an external body that had benchmarks and standards for every school to target, to be measured by, and to hit. So that school inspection has really, really made a huge difference in education. Initially, not everybody accepted or embraced the UAE inspection framework. It was new. It was new to myself as well. We don't have inspections in the US. We do have accreditation, but it's quite different. So when they launched the inspection framework and had, experts coming in, assessing schools, measuring their outcomes, measuring the quantitative and qualitative evidence about how schools are doing, it really, really made a positive impact. Some people might not like inspection. It is a bit stressful at times because everybody wants to do their best, wants to show what they've got. But it has raised the bar, and I think it's continuing to raise the bar for quality education.
What are some stuff that you might expect or like ideas that you think would make schools better? Like, for example, you said that how they added inspections. That's good, right? What do you think other ideas that you might have in the future that are good, that would like raise schools in a better way?
Well, that's a difficult question. I would say whereas inspections are on a whole school level and on a national level, I think really what will make a difference in education and moving forward is what's happening in the classroom. So we have a limited time in the day. We start school at 7:30, 8 o'clock a.m. We finish around 2 o'clock. So on average, we're doing around 30 to 35 hours of schooling in a week. Of that 30 to 35 hours in a week, around 1/3 of it is assigned to the MOE subjects, where you have your Arabic curriculum subjects, which are fantastic and needed, and then you have the rest of it, which is in English. So to fit a whole curriculum, a US curriculum or a UK or whatever curriculum into a school, you're already compromised in the time that you have to meet expectations in either the Arabic language or English language. So the amount that educators are trying to put inside of that class timing is quite limited. And we're being measured against international schools, which have a full 35 hours in one language. So we have less, we're limited in that factor. So because of that expectation to drive high standards in that limited time, I'm seeing that in classrooms, sometimes students aren't given time to reflect. They're not given time to sometimes explore areas that aren't on the curriculum academically, such as how do you feel, your social, emotional intelligence, because that's not going to be on a test. And with the limited amount of time we have, we often want to teach what we're going to be assessed by. So I think moving forward, if we're to be able to create whether in the classroom or out of the classroom, more opportunities for students, teachers, and families to explore feelings, your emotional intelligence. I think that's could make a huge impact in where we're going as far as the future of education.
Yeah, maybe we're looking forward to that in the future. Maybe it actually happens, that it takes place. And it would be great because students can express their stress and their emotions in school rather than just taking it out in the house. Because a lot of students, after 7 hours or 8 hours of studying, they take out their emotions or stress in households. If this hour is added of how they feel and a lesson of how they feel, it would be better and students would feel way better, right?
Yeah, I also think that it should be applied outside of school. Maybe if the school gave some opportunities for students to have some guidance or some kind of trips that make them feel better about themselves.
Yeah, trips definitely help. I think about some schools around the world in the past where you had lunchtime for an hour. And
I would love that.
Yeah, it would be great, but we don't have the time for it. If you had lunch for an hour, you would maybe get to the point where you feel like, okay, I had my lunch with my friends, I'm walking here, I'm relaxing here. You know what, I'm kind of bored because it's an hour. But in today's schooling, you hardly ever find a student saying, oh, I'm bored at lunch, because it's so limited.
Yes.
Because we're trying to maximize the teaching time. That downtime is not happening. So I'm seeing in today's youth, students don't know what to do with downtime. Even adults don't know what to do with downtime. What do I do now? And I think that would help in moving forward, is if we are able to have some of that downtime and explore what's going on internally, it would be a good way forward.
I agree. Okay, moving on. First of all, are you aware of the UAE Vision 2030?
I'm quite aware.
Okay. So how has your understanding of national initiatives such as the UAE Vision 2030 influenced your professional outlook on or priorities?
Well, it's given goals, and I think when you have goals that you're trying to achieve, it will bring people together. It's not making a huge difference as far as what's going on inside of classrooms for teaching and learning. schools have a lot of different facets to them, but at the core of any school and education, it's teaching and learning. So what are teachers delivering and what are students acquiring from what they're delivering? We might have goals of inclusivity, of sustainability. We have goals in language, whether it's Arabic and the national identity, which is fantastic. Those are all goals that I'm sure we'll achieve. But as far as my role and my outlook on education, it's really about what's going on in the classroom, developing those literacy skills, developing those numeracy skills, whether it's literary skills in Arabic, literary skills in English, your numeracy skills, digital literacy skills is huge. If we can teach those successfully, along with 21st century skills, cooperation, collaboration, critical thinking, we're on the right track. I think that
I agree. I fully agree.
Yeah, and there's not much more than those skills that are needed. Everything else, I think, is on the peripheral, which does inspire people into helping find maybe their interest, whether it's art, sports, sciences, technology. So students are given the opportunity to find what they're passionate about, but those core skills can't be compromised.
That's true. I think that the other subjects are truly there to aid you in finding your career path and what you want to do, what you want to be in the future.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I want to add something. We have a counselor in our school that guides us. We can go to him at our free time or whenever we're free or our lunch breaks, and he really does guide us with whatever we want to pursue in the future. So that's good. And I think they recently added this because in my old school we did not have that.
Oh, you didn't have a guidance counselor?
No.
All right.
Me too. I didn't have. I've been to 4 schools, and this is the only one that had this.
Yes, me too. I've been
All
to
right.
3 schools, and this is the only school that had a career guidelines. And I'm really grateful for it because, it's really
I wouldn't have
pursue.
known this stuff
Yes.
if it were not for him.
Oh, credit to him.
Yeah, credit to him, for
And the
sure.
system for having guidance counselors. I think guidance counselors are great, but it's also okay to not know what you want to do. And I think it's
That's me
also,
right now.
that's completely fine. That's some of us in our 30s, 40s, and 50s too. Sometimes we don't know what we want to do next. And also I think it's okay to change. Sometimes people start something and they feel like, okay, I'm passionate about the sciences. I first studied history in university because I liked it and I was good at it. But I realized after some time I don't want a career doing anything in history, but I had chosen a subject that I enjoyed and I was good at, but I didn't see a future in it. So when it came to changing, of course there was some sort of fear, anxiety, like, oh, what am I going to change to? But through support of people like guidance counselors, friends and family, it was easy to make that choice and change.
I'm
Yes.
glad that worked for you.
Hopefully it keeps working.
Hopefully, there's even more success in the future
Inshallah.
Yes.
for all of us.
Inshallah.
Exactly.
Yes. I feel like some students already have their path visualized and they know what they're going to be. Like, for example, I think I already know what major I'm going to choose and what field I'm going to get into. But some students, they really need help with whatever they want to pursue or what's their passion. And it's really good to take a time and a moment to decide because you can't really go back in time. Yes, you can change, but you would lose years.
Yes.
Yeah. So I want to ask, how has exposures to the UAE's cultures and heritage and values influenced your approach to education and student engagements?
You're talking about UAE culture and heritage?
Yes.
Yes. Well, first, being in the UAE, I understand that I am a guest in this country, and I've been treated extremely well as a guest in the country. I do like to believe that I have a skill set to offer, which the UAE has embraced. Helping understand the history of the UAE, where it was before 1971 when it was established, hearing stories from UAE nationals about what the UAE was like prior to the unification of the UAE, And then hearing about the impact of the unification as well, seeing that second generation, meeting the parents of a lot of the students, Emirati, who are second generation Emiratis, hearing their stories, listening to their challenges. Listening to their challenges, and then obviously seeing it in the students as well, and the exposure that they have to internationalism, which their parents and grandparents maybe didn't have, at least not to the extent with the use of digital technology. But understanding who Emiratis are, who they've been to me, which have been hosts, friends, yes, and also heroes in many ways, has really helped me to develop a passion for wanting to provide quality education for UAE nationals as well as any citizens or residents in the UAE.
That's truly commendable.
Okay. Moving on to the next part of questions. This is about leadership and future outlooks. So,
leadership and future
outlooks.
Okay.
Yeah. Which personal leadership quality do you find most essential for success within the UAE's multicultural education environment?
Oh, yeah, I can maybe speak about my field.
Yeah, of course.
Yes,
in the educational
all right. I think in an educational setting, understanding the vision of the UAE is huge. The skills that are important are obviously you have your soft skills, which I think are super important because that helps bridge gaps with people where you can be on the same page of what you're trying to implement. And then also down the road, if you do face any challenges, those soft skills can, iron out and fix any setbacks, hiccups, or challenges that you can face. Obviously, you need academic skills of understanding a curriculum. Those skills are essential. If I don't understand a curriculum that's being taught and really having a very strong grasp on the curriculum, I would be at a disadvantage. And then obviously the skill of what does good teaching and learning look like? I know that I mentioned this earlier, but if I'm able to, or if any school leader is able to really identify what does good teaching and learning look like and what is the impact it's having upon students, that's a skill that really makes a huge difference. So I learned that along my leadership journey, and I didn't really have the opportunity to learn those skills until I was already a vice principal or principal. Today I see that there are a lot of teachers learning those skills, which is excellent, and it should be learned by teachers. And then it should go further down to an understanding from teaching assistants. I would even say parents. I would even say if students start to understand what good teaching and learning looks like, I think it would continue to make a huge impact.
So you mentioned that you've learned a lot of things through your journey in this educational field. So what valuable advice do you have for the audience?
I think everyone is waiting for that part, even us.
Which part?
The advice. What advice would you offer fellow educators considering a move to the UAE? Like, the audience and us are waiting for advice as your experience. Like, throughout your experience, what advice would you give?
Throughout your whole journey,
Yes.
what are important things that you've learned?
Well, I would say if there's an educator who's not been to the UAE or to the Khalij area especially, and they're looking to move to the UAE to be an educator, I think the advice that I would give is that it does provide incredible opportunities for personal growth and development, and it provides opportunities to make an impact in people's lives. So definitely, if you come here, you can make a difference. At the same time, it is a competitive arena. It is fast-paced. There are more expectations for teachers here than most places in the world, much like any field in the UAE. The UAE's vision is to be at the top, and it is at the top already, and it's wanting to continue to stay there and even go beyond, pushing boundaries. So that pace to get there is something that some educators aren't aware of. Sometimes international educators think that, I get to sort of be on a holiday And yeah, I'll do some teaching.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think that way. They think that teaching means free holidays in the summer, and it's just, they think it's easy, but
Yeah.
I believe it's hard.
It is. It's not a holiday to teach here.
Yeah.
Of course, there are, in the academic year, there are breaks which teachers deserve. And during those breaks, you'll get some time off to, holiday
Okay.
or
But
rest,
my point
relax.
is that people think that just because there are summer holidays and winter holidays that are maybe months long, they think that teaching is an easy field to go into.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's completely the opposite. It's really draining to be a teacher in it, and I really appreciate those who are teaching me and are taking care of the school right now.
Absolutely. The expectations here are high, and the amount of work that teachers do is commendable. There are very few teachers and educators in the UAE who don't take work home with them.
Yeah.
Yes, they might leave at 3:30, 4 o'clock, 4:30, but oftentimes that work continues into the evening or early morning. Because they want to have their weekend at the same time. They don't, but even sometimes then, we take our work into the weekend.
Yes.
So I would say it is like any other job. You are putting in the hours, even though a school calendar looks like it's kind of easy. It's not.
Yeah.
Yes.
It looks easy, but when they're put in that kind of position, it's not easy at all. I feel like it can also be very draining. But it's good. We're very grateful for these teachers that they're doing a lot for us. I have another question. What long-term professional goals have emerged for you during your time in the UAE?
Well, I didn't see myself becoming a director of education. Even before that, I didn't see myself becoming a principal.
What was your insight before that?
Well, I became a vice principal, and I was very happy being a vice principal. I went from being a middle leader as an English coordinator, and then when I had the chance to be a vice principal, I really liked it. And I thought, wow, I can see myself doing this for many years. I didn't want to be the principal, the one at the top, the one who was accountable for everything. I like being second, right hand.
Me too.
You know, and
I can't put that much responsibility upon myself, honestly.
yes, I didn't foresee it.
Yeah.
Then the opportunity came. It was by default. I had a situation where the principal in the school I was at, that was in 2007 in Dubai, was no longer the principal. They had a situation where they had to go back to their home country. And so as the vice principal, I stepped into that role as the acting principal. I kind of liked it. I thought, okay, I learned, and the school offered me the opportunity to continue as a principal the following year. And I said, okay, I will give it a try. I didn't see myself in that role, but if you believe in me, and I didn't see any huge problems as an acting principal, I will do my best and give it a try. So that was how I became a principal. And then after, I think, around 12 years as a principal, I got the opportunity, actually 15 years as a principal, I got the opportunity to be a director of education. And that was out of curiosity, and also I want to see if I can impact other people's lives in a different role. I have enjoyed it. I do like the role. There are some things I miss as well about not being a principal. Because
Like what?
Well, when you're a director, you're not based in one school.
Yeah.
Yes, I work across a group of schools. When you're a principal working in one school, you develop relationships with staff that you see every day. They become like family.
Yeah.
You develop relationship with students. You get to know them by name. You see them grow throughout their early years into their, teenage years, adolescent years. You get to see families overcome struggles and challenges. Those relationships that are built are precious. They're so valuable, so meaningful. So as a director, I don't have the opportunity to build as many such relationships because I'm not on schools to be with them day in and day out.
Well, now you are. We're here.
Yeah.
You know us now.
Yeah, I know you now, but I might not see you tomorrow. Next
Yeah,
time I might
that's
see you
true.
again. I mean, I recognize
Yeah.
you from being here before in classes,
Yes.
and we've passed each other in lessons, but I'm not here every day.
Yeah,
you know.
that's
That's
right.
true, that's true.
You said back then that you wanted to only be a vice principal, and you just like that part. If you go back in time, would you take the opportunity to be a principal like you did, or you would just stay in your role because that's what you like to do?
Oh, I haven't thought about that.
Now we're giving you a chance to think about that.
Okay, let me think. Well, I would probably do it again because the opportunity came, and the opportunity was not about necessarily me putting a badge on my shoulder to become a principal. The opportunity came because of a need in a school. And because there was a need, I was happy to do my best to meet that need because I believe in education. I believe that, okay, if I can step into a role that's going to help a school, help students, help a community, I will do my best. So I think when those opportunities come, if I can, if it aligns with my educational ethos, who I am, my morals, my values, I will do my best. I will give it a go and try. And if I succeed, great. If I don't, I will feel like, all right, I did my best. So I would take the opportunity again.
No, I'm sure you would succeed. I'm glad that you're here today and you chose that, and you chose to be the principal at that time. Because if you did not do that, then we would not have you here right now.
Oh, thank you. Yes, it's true.
Yeah, like these small changes can change a lot in someone's life. Just because you stepped for a need, now it's something big and you're here now for an interview. That's great. I feel like these people should like make sure and dedicate their small decisions, because these small decisions means a lot.
It can, yes.
Yes. I have another question. How have national priorities around sustainability and environmental awareness shaped your personal approach or involvement in education initiatives?
Well, I think we're just sort of scratching the surface when it comes to sustainability. We're kind of in between. Is it just a buzzword at this time that we're going to talk about, or is it really something that is going to be embedded within who we are as humans? I think if we look at the trajectory that the world is on, we have over 8 billion people. The carbon footprint and what's being done around the world seems to have a time frame. I don't think the world can continue to grow with such a population and will have the resources in the earth to meet our needs. So at the end of the day, sustainability is about, can we create an environment that the earth, the creation that God has made, which has given us life, can we take care of it enough to continue to take care of life? Now, that's a very broad picture of sustainability, but really that's what it's about. So what we're doing in schools by raising awareness is a first step, and it's a great step.
That's true.
What we're doing about, clean campus initiatives, about throwing away your trash, about recycling, about reusing, those are fantastic. I think we need to look at a digital footprint as well. We're just starting to talk about, what is the impact of things like cryptocurrency and the mining that's being done, and the impact and the energy that's being used for such digital initiatives. It's huge. It's huge. So the more we learn about what our earth needs, what our land needs to be healthy as a human race, it will make a positive impact. But I think we're just scratching the surface.
Yes.
Sure. Do you have any ideas of things that Al-Dhafra schools might, or any other school might apply in the future to share even more awareness and make a bigger difference in the world relating to sustainability and recycling and stuff like that?
Well, I think once every individual internalizes it, I think you can make a positive difference. If you look at what does each human do to either help or hinder this earth, and we take responsibility for that, it will make a huge difference. There are still a lot of people who are challenged or struggle to throw away trash in a trash bin.
Yeah.
That's surprising
Yeah.
if you think about it. But, people will toss their trash, have a cup of karak, drink it, toss it. That's not helping.
Yeah.
So the more that we're raising personal awareness, personal responsibility, that I have a responsibility to the earth. I have a responsibility to my land, or the land that I'm living on, to do the best that I can to not hinder it, and then to even care for it as well. At this point, a lot of times we're talking about what we're doing that harms the land, what we can stop doing to not harm the land, but what can we do to care for the land as well. I think that if we start exploring more about what we can do to help preserve the land, help foster the earth that's providing us with life, it will make a positive difference.
Yeah. I think Earth right now should be our most precious thing that we have right now to ourselves, and the most valuable thing that we should be taking care of, because in the future, if we don't act upon it now, then what's going to happen in the future?
Yes.
Nothing. It's going to get
We might
destroyed.
implode.
Yes, we might not be here, but
a lot of scientists try to explore Mars and other planets, but till now there's no significant research.
Yeah, I feel like we should
finish
our researches here, where we are, and use our resources here before we move on to aliens and whatever is in space.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think the Earth will keep on providing.
Maybe.
And I've even heard about scientists going to space and trying to discover random things that have random names, but we still have not discovered the ocean.
Yes.
And I think the same idea applies for the Earth. They're trying to discover Mars and Jupiter or whatever, but Earth is still not fully discovered. We still don't know what's inside of Earth. So
absolutely.
What's your take on that?
Well, my take is similar to what you're saying, and I think David Attenborough, I don't know if you follow David Attenborough, he's a huge, I advise you to check him out. He's an older gentleman. He's been a hero for sustainability and the preservation of life and exploring Earth. He's one of the leaders in the area. He said that he's at the end of his life. He's in his, I believe, late 90s now, and he said that if he's learned anything about what we need to think about for our Earth, the answers lie in the water, in the ocean, more than what we're looking at in the Earth. So I think that person who's dedicated his entire career, who's been blessed with the compassion for life, with the knowledge and understanding to explore those areas and to share them with humans, I think we should all listen to what he says with a critical eye. And then if somebody at the end of their life is saying that, hey, it's really, the answers lie in the water. Yeah, we should listen to it. Yes. There's something there.
I also have heard that NASA only discovered 20 or 10% of the ocean, and there's 80 or 90% that's not discovered yet. So we don't really know what's happening under the ocean till this day.
Yeah, and the impact that it has upon the land as well. Yeah. I think that's not discovered very much.
That's right. So I want to ask another question. In your view, how does the UAE's emphasis on tolerance and diversity enhance the overall experience of working in the country's education sector? Did we ask this question?
I think
in a different way, we spoke about it a little bit, but no, we haven't asked that question. It's a good question. I think this is one of the areas where the UAE has changed tremendously and had a positive impact. I think that when we had the Year of Tolerance, the Year of Tolerance was, it was a theme, it was talked about, but then the understanding of tolerance over the years has changed incredibly. I think that the understanding that people have about the huge number of different nationalities in the UAE, and I think most of us could probably say quite a few words in different languages, whether it's simple greetings, so you learn some words in Tagalog, you learn some words in Hindi, you learn some words in Arabic. I think that that's a great sign of tolerance because people are coming together as humans. So I see that the way people are treated, whether they're looking affluent or whether they're not looking affluent,
that's right.
It's beautiful. I remember there around 2010, I used to like to go eating fish after going to the beach. And there was a fish hut on the beach where they only fried or grilled hamur or shrimps. That was it. And I would go there and get in line, and I'd be amazed to see in front of me was, a local gentleman with his friends that parked in a very nice car. got and stood in line. Then it was me. And then I saw a laborer get off work, park his bike, also hungry to eat. He set his bike down, got in line, and we're all waiting in line for this, fish and shrimps. And I thought, this is awesome. This is a testament of tolerance and appreciation for humans and each other. And so I remember that experience. I thought it doesn't get much better than this, living in a place where, you have different backgrounds, different socioeconomic backgrounds, really living harmoniously.
Yeah, even though like different backgrounds,
Yeah.
one came with a
I
bike,
think that-
one came with a car, but still you guys
And me.
ate. But still you guys ate from the same place.
Yeah, I actually think that food brings so many people together without even noticing.
It does.
Yeah, so even if a simple bread and fish or something else, something really simple, it can bring a million different people together just because it has the memories that you've had, and it's a part of every single person's culture, even if it's a little different in each culture. So, do you have any like experiences that you've had that you felt like like a community when you connected with some people, whether it's with food or any other activity?
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I remember the first time that
Could
I
you
tried.
share one?
Yes,
Or a
I
few
can share quite a few,
experiences?
probably.
Yeah. You go on.
I remember the first time having the opportunity to eat, mejbous or mensef or whatever it might be with my fingers, with my hands.
Yeah.
I remember, okay, I'm gonna learn to eat with my hands, and I thought, all right, great. How do I do this? And I was with experts, and of course they were keen and happy for me to share experience. And I remember giving it a go, getting the food in my hand, and probably more than half of it didn't even reach my mouth. It was everywhere, but it was fantastic. It was brought together through food, brought together through trying something new. That's an experience that stands out to me that I'll never forget.
Yeah, so this means like food brings everyone together.
Yeah,
Yes,
basically.
yes.
Everyone likes food. Who
we
doesn't?
can't live without it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of Americans and foreigners have this experience when they come to the UAE. They think that eating with their hands it's such a random idea, and they never thought of it before. But once they try it, and once they see how the culture is here in the UAE, they just fall in love. Or
Yes, absolutely.
They like it. Yeah, it's like exploring new stuff and other stuff. Yeah. How did you feel when you first started eating with your hands?
Well, I've eaten other things with my hands. We eat sandwiches with our hands. So it wasn't the first time eating with my hands.
No,
but
like,
it was the
like
first
food.
time
rice.
getting rice and meat and mixing it together and going for it. Yeah, I love it.
That's
Yes.
great. Harry, do you have any more questions?
if you have any, you can go.
What kind of advice that you would give the students for the future or the audience? Something that they might use in their life or they would benefit from?
Or what advice would you give
What
us?
is- yeah,
You
us
can
as
talk
seniors.
directly to us because we're students.
Yeah, you're students. I think, well, the advice that I would have for students like yourself, you're already ambitious. You've already established a certain level of success through your efforts and through the support that you've had from your parents, through your friends and family. You seem to be on the right path. So the advice is to continue on that path. I find that sometimes if you're a high attainer or an achiever, sometimes the need to understand defeat or the need to understand failure can be a great teacher. I think failure is probably life's best teacher. So when we do fail, to understand that that's okay. Yes, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt our pride, our ego. It might even set us back or on a different trajectory to what we had expected. But making mistakes and failing is a great, great teacher, and it's okay. I'm sure that if you have a family, which you do, I'm a parent, there's nothing more than parents and people who love you want to see you fly,
Yes.
excel. But if you need to come home, you need to rest, that support system is there. to
For
catch.
sure.
Yes,
Yeah.
and then when you're ready to fly again, fly, go, pursue your dreams. And then if
Yeah.
you need to come back and again, be home, heal, be in a safe place, I think that's the best environment. So I think teaching courage would be another piece of advice that I think is not sometimes taught in schools. So we tell people to make calculated risk, which is important, but also courage can go a long ways.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that we need to make mistakes and we need to fail in order to succeed, and it's just that it's a part of the journey.
It's inevitable.
Yeah. So do you have any experiences with that you could tell us about?
Oh, I've made many
Some
mistakes.
losses.
Yeah. What's the biggest
Mistake.
failure that you faced, and how has it set you back, and how did you keep going?
How did you face it?
Well, yeah, I think any failure that you face, you need to face head on, and you need to go through it and experience it, the feelings, the emotions, the impact that you might have. Mistakes that I've made sometimes have been taking shortcuts. Yes, I
Yeah.
think that's something that set me back at a certain point. And when I mean shortcuts, I need to be able to grow and develop myself to the best of my ability and be super confident with who I am. And there's no shortcut to that if I really want to learn it. If I had the opportunity to become a principal sort of by default, I really need...
It's not possible.
Pardon?
It could be. No.
It
yeah.
did happen to me.
No, but it's.
But I
you
had to
you-
learn what it took, and that means sometimes that I wouldn't be as...
You needed to put in the efforts. is what I
Exactly.
mean.
I
Yeah.
need to put a lot of time and effort, and also the realization that I might not know what I'm doing at that point. It was a new experience to me. So I need to ask for help. I need to ask for support, ask for understanding,
Yes.
and the ability to make mistakes if I didn't get it right.
Yes. I read a quote somewhere, you have to lose 100 times to win. And I think that touched something inside of me. Thank you so much, sir.
I also heard something similar. It's from a chemist, and I think that it changed my outlook on these things.
Nice.
Yeah.
We appreciate the time you've taken to join us and the dedication you have shown to fostering a vibrant learning community. And I really have learned a lot from this conversation. And maybe I have pursued what I want to be in the future or my path. Thank you so much for this.
You're most welcome.
So thank you, Mr. Daniel, for sharing your invaluable insights with us today. Your experiences and perspective on education in the UAE and in your personal life have truly enriched our understanding and inspired us all.
Thank you, too.
Yeah, and we appreciate the time that you have taken and put in this. It means a lot to us and to the audience, of course. Thank you.
Thank you, too. It's an honor to be here. I'm so happy to join you. And I hope we continue the conversation.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. One day.
Yeah. So now we leave you with a new segment and with another team of our fellow students who will take on the journey and another part of the live stream.
Thank you.
Thank you.